Well, hey there, everyone, and welcome to today's VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. My name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you live from another gorgeous day here in Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Now, in today's session, Roger is going to be covering a range of important topics with a wrap up on seasonality and how to trade your favorite stocks. Now, things that he's going to cover today will include a wrap up on all the cool features that are planned for the data miner. These are things that are under construction right now and are scheduled to be released soon. And in addition to that, as a special bonus, he wants to do a live analysis of your favorite stocks, including providing the best option or spread that best fits its current pattern. Now, if you have questions during Roger's presentation today, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as not to interfere with Roger's presentation. And also, folks, the chat is open to everyone, and we just have a few ground rules. Remember, always be kind, keep to the topic, no political discussions, and keep your side conversations to a minimum so that we can focus on the education and information that Roger is sharing, because he's here to give us an edge and to help us all become more confident and consistent in our trading activities. Now, this morning at 8 o'clock, Roger opened the market by sharing what his small cap watch list was for today. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and hold on for a minute. I'm going to copy these and I'm going to put them in the chat panel for those of you that may not have received that information. There you go. So once again, in looking at these small caps, there's several things that you need to take into consideration. Number one, Roger does this selection based on price action and on extreme volume. That's his selection criteria because small caps are not, dependent on what the broader market is doing, right? And from that perspective, they are very much an island unto themselves. They're driven by retail traders like us and not institutions. And lastly, folks, always remember, if you're going to look to trade these small caps, only do it after the open of the market and ideally before 2 p.m. and to make sure that you do not hold any of these positions overnight. Essentially, if these small cap stocks are going to work for you, they typically are going to pop above the levels that are recommended shortly after the open of the market. If it takes much longer to do that, then just forget about it and move on to something else. Now, as far as Roger's catalyst for today were concerned, and once again, we know the definition of a catalyst is something that's known, but it's not yet priced in the market. So right off the top of the bat, looking at the Fed, we noted that there was the preliminary consumer sentiment was scheduled to be released, and it actually came down at a negative 2.8%. Also a focus today as a catalyst were the bonds. And after initially moving higher, they were moving significantly lower below two key resistance levels. Other catalysts were the chip sector, where SMCI was up 4%, consumer discretionary, which saw General Motors up 1%, technology sector, Adobe was up 4%, and Microsoft was up 1%. And another big one was Japan, as the Nikkei reached all-time record highs. So those were the catalysts that Roger is going to be keeping or recommends that we be aware of as we consider trading this day. Next thing Roger did is he shared with us his daily stock watch list. And I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and post this to everyone here in the chat panel. And you can see that the watch list that he posted there were three sections. Number one, there were the shorts. He only had four of those today: Kava, Vert, CAR, and SAP. There were several longs that he listed there. And as a special bonus, he shared with us four stocks that are setting up as A-line setups: VSAT, ROST, PHM, and JNJ. Now, as far as his closing comments were concerned, he said, look, guys, today's a Friday, and I expect it to be pretty peaceful, especially after yesterday's run up and especially after 12 p.m. this afternoon. He said the markets look kind of fragmented coming into the open, that the blue chips were not looking particularly strong after yesterday's run up. The sectors look kind of messy with healthcare and utilities leading, and he considers that to be a red flag. Those are defensive stocks. He also said to watch bonds to see if they hold above support or if they break below those levels. And he feels like the SPY is overstated. And he looks for a pullback there, especially with the bonds moving lower. So those were his comments coming into the open today. And once again, looking forward to today's VIP session. The focus today is going to be on a wrap up on seasonality and how to trade your favorite stocks. Okay, including in this discussion, he's going to share with us all the cool features that are planned for Data Miner. Okay, so we had 2 days of discussions about seasonality and the tools that Roger uses. One of those tools is the Data Miner, and he's got some significant upgrades coming to that, and he wants us to be aware of those. As a bonus, he said, look, I want to do a live analysis of your favorite stocks. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is provide the best option or spread that fits the current pattern that stock is in. So here's what I need you to do for me, folks. I want you each to put one stock that you feel will best meet Roger's criteria in the chat, and time permitting, I'm going to ask Roger for his analysis. So my role in all of this is, once again, is I'm going to write these stocks down. And when Roger gets into the section of the presentation where he says, hey, let's dive into your favorite stocks, he's going to turn to me and he's going to say, Raleigh, what's on your list? So once again, share those with me now. And the key thing is this, is Roger wants you to suggest something, just one stock, folks, that you think best meets his criteria. And then we'll take a look at that. So I'm going to start writing these down. And once again, I know we're going to get a lot here, and we're going to cover as many of these as we can. So far, it's good. We don't have any duplications. This is a great list. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Tremendous. This is going to be a fun session. Once again, what Roger's going to do is he's going to take, okay, that's another good one. And then okay, UNC. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And once again, I'm scribbling as fast as these things are coming up here, but so far, no duplications, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And once again, this is going to be a ton of fun today because, as I said, when Roger is ready, I'm going to feed him the stock symbols. He's going to bring up the chart. He's going to do an analysis, and he's going to say, based on what I see here, I'm going to recommend what might be a good option to trade or a spread to trade. So it's going to be awesome. All right. This is good. So far, I've got probably about 20 stocks. We're going to try to get to them all, guys, time permitting. But we have a great representation here. And once again, Roger is saying, based on everything that you know and the way he likes to teach and the way he likes to select things, based on your understanding of what his best setups are, what are stocks that you'd like him to take a look at? that's that's funny. Steven just posted hola, and I almost, hola, and I almost wrote that down as a stock symbol.
Oh, that's funny. How you doing, Raleigh?
I mean, I'm deep into it, Roger. I'm scribbling away, and I said, "Hold on." I said, "Wait a minute. I don't think that's a stock symbol."
That's pretty funny. Uh,
Absolutely. Well, Roger, I've got a great list right here. I easily have probably about 25 tickers. So we have a lot
Excellent.
that we can sink our teeth into, but it's great to see you. It's great to see Matt. Always great to see Kane. What a lineup we have today. Roger, I'm going to start with my first question. Coming into today, you said, look, guys, a Friday after a run up day on a Thursday is typically quiet, especially after lunch. We also noticed that the bonds kind of did a U turn on us. And the question was, is it going to drag the SPY down? Is there going to be a correction there? And that's kind of where you left us this morning. So, from
Right.
that standpoint, curious minds want to know, what do you think about where we are right now?
To be honest with you, based on the market internals, I'm not surprised. Let me share my screen with you so I could show you everything here.
Yeah.
Matt, can you make sure everything went out? Yeah. Okay. Make sure everything went out. Here, let me share my screen. There we go. Let me just get my TC2000 here. And while it's posting, I could just show you this. So, I'm not surprised at all. I'm actually, this is very normal, but honestly, based on the market internals, the ADD being down over 1,000 and Volt going down pretty much the entire day, I would even expect a little bit more downside. Matter of fact, if this can't hold right here, this 657.35, right? This area here, maybe even a little lower. Basically, if 657 doesn't hold, we don't really have a lot of we don't have a lot of stuff here holding us back. We don't have a lot of support. Got a little support here around 650s. Basically, I just keep coming back to that 657 level. This level right here. If this level breaks, this structure that's been building for the last second half of the day yesterday, I guess ever since 11 a.m. yesterday, and it's now noon, so about 24 hours. The structure's been building. If this structure breaks, we're going down. And also look on the daily where we're at. I hate to say I told you so, but I've been warning. This 8-day EMA. Every time we get here, we come back and look at the run up we've been having. It's a pretty big run up, and now the bonds are going down. This is today. This is yesterday. This is today. They haven't. They have not picked up any. They have not picked up any anything at all. I mean, they haven't picked up a thing. Let me just reach out to Deanna real quick. Ask her if. Okay, sorry about that. So, so there's a lot of things. There's the fact that volume is going into declining issues. There's a lot more stocks that are lower than they were yesterday. Okay. Volatility is still, I mean, it's going down. I mean, the markets are not falling off. There's no real reason for the volatility to be up. But I'm telling you that if we break this level, there's just not much here below this level. And we got here pretty quickly, and it wouldn't take long. It would take a fang or two seeing a cool off. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this is not a surprise. This is just a low probability, choppy nonsense. Now, let me just really quickly check volume real quick. Something I really don't do early on because it's too early. By the way, if anybody grabbed a little piece of grab this morning, and don't say I didn't tell you because I posted it in the public Telegram channel. Let me know if you grabbed a little grab. Grabbed a little grab. Where was it? Yeah, SPY. Let's go here. Yeah, I mean, look at this. We're halfway done with the day. Volume is 20 million contracts. We don't really have heavy volume. It's been reasonable last few days, but it's not high. I mean, it's definitely on the low end. So we don't have any volume. And see these price levels I drew for you guys? See how there's not much here? It's a lot of stuff here, but there's not much here. Well, once we break right here, so 7, and we break here, we break these levels. There's really not much here. There's really not much there. So again, we'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if we consolidated today, but honestly, this is this is not natural. It's not going to just hang here. It'll probably start coming down a little bit. Again, if not today, then maybe Monday. Monday's usually a rotation day, but I'm not really seeing that much upside. And interestingly enough, I mean, I'll give you my watch list. I want Kane to show us more of his software right now, but let me see what's going on here. But you will see that my watch list, I don't think I have any tech stocks. I may inadvertently without knowing it, but I'm not seeing here. So I'm not seeing technology continue down this path much longer. And I think the market internals and everything else is kind of confirming that. Okay, I think that's really, really, really what we're seeing over there. Really, what we're seeing over there. Okay. Now, Kane, why don't you take over the screen? I had really good feedback. People were asking me all sorts of questions. Why don't you go ahead and share the screen and show us some more examples of the cool tool that you and I are going to present tomorrow?
Yeah, nice. Glad to hear that you had good feedback. I'm personally very excited about it. So let me go back to the beginning. And yesterday I showed you a lot of the single ticker analysis. And so I thought I'd show you a little bit of the scanner today, and then maybe we can do more single ticker analysis if there's stocks that people want to evaluate. So if I run this scanner, I've got some default settings here that I personally like and that I use all the time. So we just set them as a default. And if I run that scanner, then we'll find basically potential stocks that have potential to move quite a bit if the market maker starts to feel the pain a little bit. So over here, we have currently here showing 37 that fit my criteria. And if I look right here, the first thing that I'm going to look at is, well, I'll look at this one, but something that I'm noticing immediately is I've got Duke right here. That's an energy stock. I got CVX right here. That's an energy stock. Both of them are saying to the upside. And it looks like, I think EOG is an energy stock as well. NEE, I think, is a utility, not necessarily energy, but we've got a few CEG, Constellation Energy. Maybe that's a utility as well. And then, so what I'm noticing is that there's a bunch of utility and energy stocks. So I might want to pay attention to those, number one, that particular sector. And number two, as Roger likes to say, one to a customer, right? So if I like Duke, I'm not going to be trading CVX as well. So since Duke is at the top of this list, right here we have this percent volume to GEX. Basically, that is an indicator of how much the market maker might participate and move the underlying stock as it's trying to hedge itself as we move towards what we see as a gamma pocket. So if I like Duke, if that's the first one on my list, then I can bring up a chart and see how I like the chart. Because remember that the market maker isn't just going to start moving the market. The market maker has to feel pain before they start participating. They have to be at risk before they start hedging themselves. So we want something that indicates to us that Duke Energy could start to move higher and start to push the market maker into pain. And then the market maker will add its firing power into that move. So right here, what I'm noticing immediately on Duke is a few things. One, it looks like it's bouncing off of that MA100 level. It is above that MA200. It did bounce off that MA200, come back and not test all the way back to the MA200, but it's bouncing off of that MA100. And we've got a nice uptrend over here as indicated by our moving averages, but also looks like it goes back quite a bit, which is nice. We've got this, oops, that's not what I wanted. We've got a nice uptrend right here. Okay. Okay, so it's looking good. I like the trend. I like the fact that it's bouncing off of a major moving average, and that we have that gamma behind it. And so this is looking pretty good to me. And we are going to click in here, and then we can check out that gamma. And so that's that nice big gamma pocket at 125 right there. And what this is showing me is that if we get to 125, there's actually potential to move up to 130, maybe even 135, because this gamma structure could change as we move higher. And then if I look at 125, what we see is actually, if before I knew that 125 level, where would I draw major support and resistance? Kind of like what Roger was just doing on the S&P. I would draw one right here, bounced right off of it. Why would I draw it there? Because I've got a lot of activity right here. Got some chopping sideways over here. I had a peak right there. And then if I were to draw above, I would pick this bar right here, that high or close to its high, and then this choppy region right here, all respected this particular line. And look where that is actually. Right where I drew that line is at 125.03, and the gamma pocket's 125. So that's a great target, initial target right there. And what's really cool about this particular opportunity that I'm seeing right now is that we're bouncing off. We could target that first gamma pocket, but if we break through, that changes this trade from a pullback bounce, and then we have a second trade of a breakout, which could go up to 130 or 135 based on the gamma picture that we just looked at. So we have two potential trades right here, and so that is looking really good. And the market maker could help us if they start to feel that pain, drive it towards 125 at the very least. So I just wanted to show you guys the scanner and how we could find opportunities based on the scanner as well. Is there anything that you guys wanted to look at, or you want me to look at, Roger?
No, I think, well, why don't you know what? Why don't you show them a couple of mega caps? Everybody knows mega caps like Tesla's, and show us the nearest levels on maybe Tesla and Apple. Those stocks are in play right now. Last I remembered.
So actually Tesla, I identified a couple days ago, just before the breakout, actually two days ago on my post-market analysis, I went over Tesla and it started breaking out yesterday. So Tesla will be a very interesting one to look at. And then what was the other one you said? NVIDIA?
Microsoft. Apple. Thank you, Apple.
Okay, Apple. Okay, so over here on Tesla, you see that there's that major gamma pocket, by far bigger than anything else at that 400 level.
Yep.
So we've already made a move on Tesla, but gamma is indicating that it could move further. It could go all the way up to 400.
Great profit target.
Yeah, a great profit target.
You could see that there's, well, I could see on the chart when you just pointed it out, I could see that there's a very strong, I could see that. But yes, that
right there.
It's very useful if you don't have 20, the ability to look at a chart.
Right. And then let's take a look at Microsoft it was?
Yeah.
Or Apple.
See, folks, this is just so
sorry,
nice.
Apple. Okay.
So Apple, I keep saying Microsoft, but it was Apple, yeah.
So let me change that to Apple.
Folks, this is really, really cool. Like, you will know that these levels are in play. You understand? These are levels of aggression. These are very important levels. And again, they're made by this is not because somebody drew a line there. It's because market internals. This whole thing about, well, the Bollinger Band says to go there. No, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it.
Yeah. A little slow. There we go.
There you go. You got it.
We are very close to an important level right here. The next slightly larger gamma pocket right here is at 240, and there's another major one at 250. So what that's telling me is that we might consolidate a little bit around 235. And if we can get through 235, then we're fairly in the clear to go to 240. The market maker will start utilizing its buying power to buy up Apple shares up into 240. And if the market manages to break through 240, then the market maker will participate in the move to 250 as well. So let's throw those levels on the chart real fast. We got 235, okay, which is basically the high of today. So we see, and that peak right there, and this region where we consolidated over here as well. And then, so it's not too surprising that it's got struggled a little bit right there. And then we get, if we do manage to break above that, then the market maker will help us move up to 240. Very interestingly, we rejected that level as well. And then if it does manage to break out on that retest of 240, then the market maker will help participate to 250. And look at that. Another bounce and peak right there, a little bit of consolidation right here as well. That's as far as it goes back. So you can see that the gamma levels are matching up very much with the technicals. And these days, it's hard to say which one's the dog and which one's the tail because the options market is such a large portion of the volume of the daily volume these days.
That's fantastic. So I have a really cool idea, Kane. If you're up to it, if you have time for the next 40 minutes or so, I have a really cool idea. I'm going to go right now and start looking at folks' trades. First, I'm going to give you my watch list. Then I'm going to look at your trades. As I'm going through their trades, would you mind since you're here? Would you mind posting or verbally telling us what the key levels are? The key levels are for those stocks. Can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That'd be fun.
Okay, I thought it would be fun, right? You guys will get to see how Kane's tool works, and you can apply it to our own stocks. Wouldn't that be great? I posted the link for the webinar. It's happening tomorrow at 1 and Sunday at 1. Now, let me tell you how important this is. My wife on Sunday is having her charity event at 11:30, and I'm only going to be there for about an hour because this webinar is so important. I'm going to miss my wife's charity event. She's going to kick my butt, but it doesn't matter. I'll be there in the morning, and then I got people from work who are going to be there longer than me, and this is my wife. So this is really important, folks. You really need to sign up. I posted a link inside the members area, inside the YouTube channel, and I'm posting a link again on here, right there. Let me ask you a question. I should have started here. This program, this software, which we're going to talk about more, how many stocks does it have in its database?
Well, if you do the single ticker analysis, it basically any ticker that you can think of, it has it in there.
So we're not limited to
scan only runs on the S&P 500.
Okay, cool. That's fine. So if I give you a stock, you can bang out levels for them,
Yep.
Perfect. So folks, I'm going to share the screen. We're going to do teamwork like that. She's not going to like it, but it is what it is. She understands. Business is business, and this is really important. This will help you guys.
And she's getting an hour.
She's getting an hour and 15 minutes. She's getting an hour and 15 minutes, and that's what she's going to get. So I'm going to go ahead. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. I'm going to share my screen here. And what I'm going to do right now is Raleigh is going to give me a ticker symbols. You're going to give it, you got to, so that we don't have duplicates, this, that.
Right.
Raleigh's going to do it. And what I'm going to do is we're only going to look at the dailies. I'm going to be rough with you. I'm not going to be easy with you, but I'll give you my full analysis of these. And then Kane will give you the next key level. Okay. He'll just he can either post it in the chat or he can verbally give it to you guys, whatever he feels like doing.
That's great.
But I thought it would be kind of cool because this way we would get a double whammy here going on. All right, let's start.
The first one that came in, Roger, was HD, Home Depot.
Oh, HD. Okay, HD. Ooh, that's a nice one. So nice looking stock, very nice trend. It's not an A+ setup, but beggars can't be choosy. It's maybe a B+ setup. It's got a little gyrations here, but it follows the 15-day EMA really well. And when we go up here, we got a little bit of resistance ahead of us, but overall, this chart looks really good. Now, I'm showing resistance. Let me show you where I'm showing resistance. And meanwhile, Kane can be telling us where his resistance level is. That would be my resistance level, and maybe another one right here.
Very nice. So what we're seeing on Gamma is that the current level is actually resistance. So but if we get past the current level, then we'll get to 430, which is basically exactly where Roger drew.
Yep. Yep. About
Yeah, maybe just a tad higher than where
there it is,
Roger
430.
drew.
Yep. I'm right at 430. I'm right there. 430.26. So yeah, I'm between 429 and so folks, most of you can't do this as well as I can. You can't, and it's going to take you a while to. Not because you're bad, not because it just takes time. It's like playing guitar, it's like swimming, it's like playing drums. It just takes time. And a lot of you haven't been doing this for 30 years, and a lot of you can't do it. But Kane's, see the levels he's getting and see the levels I'm getting? They're not that far away from each other. But let's do another one. Go ahead, Raleigh.
JP Morgan.
Ooh, I like JP Morgan. I was actually looking at it this morning. JP Morgan looks really, really good. I like JP Morgan. It's not an A+ setup, but it's definitely very, very tradable from every perspective. It's very nice looking, and this one's making all-time highs. All-time highs don't have any key levels. The level to the downside I have right now is right here. And there's also some stuff somewhere right around here. Right around there. But you can't, there isn't anything to the upside when you're doing charting because I don't have anything to work with. So this is blue skies. Go ahead, Kane. What's your levels?
Yeah, so to downside, we've got 300 and 290. And to the upside, since we don't have anything to chart off of, we can use the options data. We've actually got what we call a gamma ladder. So there's a significant amount of options exposure at several strikes above where we are right now. So we've got plenty of gamma at 310, 315, 320, and a little bit at 330. So if this thing moves, it can really run up at the very least to 320 is what gamma suggests.
So we got plenty of upside, 310, 320. So you could just keep drawing these levels at your targets, just like I'm doing here. And by the way, you were off by less than a point. We were off each other less than a point here, and we were off of each other by a point here. This is a $300 stock. This is not a $30 stock. So a point is not that much. Remember, not price, not levels, areas. Remember what I told you? Areas, not levels, areas. Don't get stuck on levels. Areas.
And also the options data, they're going to have even strikes, right? They're going to be $1 apart or
Right.
250 or
Oh
5.
yeah,
So
that's
we're
right.
not
You
gonna
don't
get
have
those pennies.
you.
Yeah.
That's a very You know what? I totally forgot about that for a second. That's a very good point. That's a good point. I forgot about that. Right. Exactly, Chris. Next one. Let's do this. Now, anybody who's not here right now is missing out big because this is actionable. I'm giving you a quality of this chart. I'm calling out bad charts and good charts, and Kane and I are both giving you our levels. This is a great session.
It is, and these are stocks, Roger, that people posted in the chat right after I introduced the session. So the next one is ANET, ANET.
Okay. Ooh, man, I like this stock. So I don't like this stock right now at this second. But if this stock starts bottoming out here and going above the VWAP and coming back into this area, or maybe filling this gap right here, it would be back in play in less than a heartbeat. This is a very nice stock. This is a very, very nice stock. The only problem is it has resistance right there. And it has another resistance right there. And it has another resistance right here, which perfectly matches the bottom of this area. So I do like the stock, but not at this second. Okay, I do like the stock. I like how it couldn't come to the 15-day EMA. I like how it's bottoming out right here, right now. It just needs to start coming back above 149.30. Yeah. Anyway, what do you say, Kane? What does Trader Kane say?
Yeah, we've got support down at 140, and then a very large gamma at 150.
Oh,
and then
okay.
a little bit of a ladder going up to at 155 and 160.
Got it. And I have 156. Got it. And I have, yeah, that's what I was saying. It has to fill this gap. That's where the gamma is, and that's here. I want to show you guys this. Look at the price to the right. 149.71, and he's got 150. And I said it has to. I want to buy this if it takes out this level. You've seen how important levels are. You see how our levels are not coming up, not coming off, very different. All right, let's just, and again, I'm not encouraging you to look at intraday. I just wanted to see this one because this is a nice stock. The odds that this stock is going to come right back up. Okay, next one.
Next one is Applied Digital Corp, APLD.
It's a choppy stock. It's wiki. I mean, I wouldn't be day trading this stock if you paid me, but it's not a bad stock for a swing trade. It's a little overextended right now above the 8-day EMA. The ATR is $1.20. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little overextended right now. So it's a stock that's kind of wiki, a little choppy, but overall it's not bad. I mean, I wouldn't throw this out if it had a good setup and good options. Right now, I wouldn't be taking it right now. I wouldn't be taking it because it's overextended. And levels right now, there's a strong level right here. Strong level right there. Another one. Right there. All right, what do you say, Kane?
All right, so first off, there's not a lot of gamma exposure on this one, so it's not super active in the options market. There is exposure though, and it is showing we have support levels at 15 at 17. The current level is going to be a little bit sticky at 18, and then above we've got the major gamma exposure is at 20, so that would be our target if we were looking at this to go long. And then the rest is too small to mention, so those are the levels.
So 2 out of 3 right there. 2 out of 3 right there. The 19 and the 15. All right. Raleigh is the one keeping track of this, guys. I'm not the one keeping track of this.
Yep.
Okay, let's do another one, Kane.
Another
let's do another one, Raleigh.
Okay, yeah. Palantir, our good buddy Palantir.
Hey, I've been meaning to
PLTR.
look at it. I've been meaning to look at it today. I like the stock a lot, actually. I think it's going to keep moving up. We took 2 profits on it yesterday. We took a profit on a bull put spread, and we took a profit on a swing trade. So it's nice. Right here, right there, and right there, and right here. And I do like the stock. What do you say, Kane?
We got some support at 165 and 160. There's going to be a little bit of resistance at 170. The major gamma here is at 175. And if we can get above that, 180. So the options like 5 wide instead of 2.5 wide on this particular
so you
stock.
don't really, we can't really be that close. Yeah, $5. It can't. Yeah. So you understand, folks? It's a $5. It's a $5 spread. So it's not going to be easy to do it on $5 spreads. Okay, because your margin of error is $5. Yeah, it's kind of big margin of error. Okay, all right, fair enough. Next one.
Next up, Tilray, TLRY.
Isn't this a pot stock? Tilray.
Tilray Brands. What does it say here?
I'm pretty sure it's a pot stock. It
Yeah,
was one of
it's
those meme
cannabis
stocks
like,
back in.
Yeah, Tilray. See, I knew I could smell it from a mile away. Oh, I'm in a good mood today. It's Friday. All right. I don't like the stock. I wouldn't trade the stock. I could give you 100 reasons why I wouldn't touch the stock, but I think everybody knows them already, so I'm not even going to go into it. And you're not going to find accurate gamma because these things, nobody trades the options. They trade the underlying. In other words, don't waste my time with these stocks in this program unless we're talking about small caps, and we're not. All right, next one.
Next one, Micron Technology.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, now we're talking. Okay, great stock. Real good stock. It's a little gappy. It's a little gappy overall, but it's not bad, and it's really overextended. Okay, it's really overextended, so I would not be taking. Now, I wouldn't be shorting it right now, but as far as gamma is concerned, there's some right here. There's some right there. Right there. And right there. What do you say, Trader Kane?
Yeah, so to below where we are right now, the biggest gamma level on this chart actually is 150, but very similar in size is 160. So you got a little above and below, but there's
Okay.
also a lot of support down at 145, 140, 130, and above there's a lot of gamma over here, 165, 170, 185. So it's spread out,
Yeah.
but the biggest one is at 150 and 160.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I guess we're above us right now, not below us right now. I was thinking there's probably a pretty good one right around 130.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
130
Right
and
here.
150 and
Yeah.
145. Those are, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. All right. Next one.
Next one, small little bank, Morgan Stanley,
Morgan Stanley.
MS.
Yeah. Great looking chart. Doesn't have a lot of support here. Oh, definitely right here. Here. Right there. Oh yeah. Now I could tell you that there's a good one right here, near 148, 150. That 100%.
Yep, there's a nice one right there at 150.
Yep.
And we're kind of bound where we are right now. We're kind of in middle of two large pockets as well at between 155 and 157 and a half. So it could be, it might stick between those two levels for a little bit. And then we have one at 160 as well.
Yeah. That's what I've got right there. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all.
No.
No,
Not
you
bad.
guys are syncing up.
Two different one is a mechanical thing that this gentleman has made, and one is just me using my eyes.
Yep.
So just not bad. Let's continue.
Pulte, PHM.
I was very close to buying this stock yesterday. My problem today was that bonds went down, not good for this. But here I could tell you right here, some right there. Definitely some right around that. There's somewhere right in that area right there. If we were taking a test together, Kane, somebody may say we're cheating.
That's
right.
Papers. Yeah.
Yep.
Right there. What do you say, Trader Kane?
Very nice. So by far the largest gamma, so about double anything else on this chart is 135. And then
And I said, first thing I said, there's a real big one right there. 134.03.
And the next biggest one is at 140. And then we've got some reasonably large at 145, slightly bigger at 150.
Oh, so I got 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 4 out of 5. That's good. Very nice.
By the way, Roger, when I asked people to submit the tickers, I said, give me just one ticker and pick one that you think best meets Roger's criteria.
Of course.
So from that standpoint, once again, there's a little filtering going on here. This is great. The next one, Chevron Texaco, CVX.
It's a choppy stock. It's not a stock that I would typically engage with, and I'll tell you why. Because energy stocks follow each other, and there are better looking stocks. There's just better looking stocks. No other reason than that. It's a great stock, but you get into the wrong side, you can get chopped up pretty badly, and you obviously don't want that. Levels, there's right here some strong levels right there, for sure. Has a level right there. There's a few different things over here. It gets really, you know what? I'm just going to use the 200 because there's just too much stuff over there. And then above us right here. Oh, and right here. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. What do you say,
All
Trader
right.
Kane?
So first off, the strikes are 2.5 apart, but there's not a lot of activity in those 2.5s. It's pretty much all in the fives. So we've got a large support at 150 and also at 155. And the major exposure right now is at 160, just above where we are right now. So
You're muted. You just we lost your sound for a second. You said major exposure, and then we lost you.
major exposure at 160. And then above that, if it does manage to get above 160, we do see a lot of exposure at 165, 170, and a little bit at 175 as well.
I didn't go that high up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
All right.
so I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I got 5 out of 6 here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Not like crazy off. And I called that level right here. I told you there was a major support right there. And sure enough, there's a major support right there. Okay. Next one, please.
Next one, NVDA, NVIDIA.
That's a good one. We haven't had that one in a lot. Now, this is a great looking stock. Obviously, we love NVIDIA. We trade NVIDIA all the time. This is not going to be that hard because there's a lot of stuff here, actually. There, we got this over here. We got that over there. We're actually kind of in an area right now. Can't go above. No, you don't want to short NVIDIA, Cyrus. You don't want to do that right now. You'd want to wait for it to. You'd want it to. You'd want to see it. You want to make sure it doesn't break this area right here. It's not a bad stock, but it has to break. It has to break above 184 to be really viable, or it has to break this view up right. Oops. Yeah, or it has to break this view up right here. It's got to break this area right here. It really has to break this area. Okay, what do you say, Trader Kane?
All right. So first of all, almost all the exposure is in calls. There's not that much in puts. So it looks like the market is betting heavy on it going up. To the downside support, we've got 175 and 160 are the two biggest levels. We've got some resistance basically where we are at 180, and that's actually the biggest gamma on the chart. And then very similar gamma level is actually 185. So those two are very similar in gamma exposure. If we do manage to get above 185, 190 and 200 are in play. Looks like 195 also.
I didn't go that far. So, and folks, you don't really need to go like 3 gammas out. If you first you could take them one at a time. But we called these, and I told him there's a lot of it right. And before Kane started talking, I said there's a lot of it where we're at right now, like we're literally on it right now. See, I drew this line. See how there's a line going down, line going there, right there. He's able to do that with a computer program. That's really good. That's really, really good. If my eyes get a little tired one day, maybe I'll pull up Kane's program and let me repost a link so people can join tomorrow. But I thought this was a really good eye-opening exercise of a program going against somebody who's been doing it for 30 years, and the program is, or 31 years, and the program is doing just great. I mean, the program is giving levels very close to my levels. All right, let's continue.
All right, the next one.
Isn't this a great session, folks? Honestly, aren't we having a great session here? You're learning about stocks that look good, you're learning about stocks that look bad, and you're getting key levels for those stocks. I mean, what's not to love, right? And you're not paying anything for it. All right, let's do this. Let's continue.
So in the same sector, Broadcom, AVGO. And I love what Sandra said earlier. I sound like I'm in a bingo parlor calling out stocks.
I like that. It's like me. Survey says, All right, we're actually deep in one right now. Very similar to what we're seeing with NVIDIA. We're like in one right now. There's a lot of value right where we're at right now. There's a lot of value right where we're at right now. There's a lot of value here. So I'm not going to go above us because I don't have anything to draw. This is making an all-time high. But I could tell you right now that there's a wall of support below us right now, and we're right edging against one right now. We're basically in an area that's extremely option heavy right now. Tell me it ain't so.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. So this is probably one of the most cluttered gamma pictures I've ever seen. And it's all right around the current price. There's a major level at 360, just below where we are. Another level right there at 365 and 370. 380 is in play. Above that, 400 is in play. But below that, we've got 350, 345, 340, 330. Just a whole bunch of, but all clustered up right there.
Right here. So you guys always ask me, Roger, how do you draw these lines? How do you draw these lines? Here's a guy that has a program that could do them for you automatically. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, let's continue. So as far as the stock, I love the stock, but it's way overextended right now. And as you can see here, there's a support here at 330, as Kane and I both said, and that creates a major support level. So if this breaks, we're 50-day moving average, here we come. But we're not there yet, and there's a lot of support here. There's a lot of there's like 3 armored walls here. There's a lot of support here. There's a lot of things this has to break through.
I like that, armored walls. Next one, NEM. You know that one, Roger?
Yep, I know it. I'm pretty familiar with most tickers.
Newmont, the gold.
It's a beautiful trend. This is not an A-, but not an A+, maybe an A. This is very nice. This is very nice. And I like how it's moving. The only thing I would say here is just a hair away from the 8-day, but it's fine. I prefer it right here. This looks really good right here. And this right here. But this doesn't look bad. My only concern is physical gold may be topping out. We have a lot of uncertainty happening with the US dollar because of the Supreme Court in the beginning of November, and I think that there's going to be a lot of speculation, so we may have a little more volatility in gold than usual till then. So just something to keep in mind, okay? Something to keep in mind. Now, as far as levels are concerned, again, I have a limitation that Kane doesn't. I use price data, and if this is an all-time high, I can't go above that. He can. So his program has a major advantage over me, okay? I can't physically go above. I would be totally guessing. But and again, how often is a stock at an all-time high? That doesn't happen all the time. But that's one of the drawbacks of my way of doing it, because the way I look at it right now, we have clear skies to the upside, but he actually has gamma levels. Okay, so not really much here. I mean, got a little right there. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. What do you say, Kane?
The largest one is at 75. That's below us, so that's support. There is the second largest one is at 80, so immediately above us. So
right here, basically right here. Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit of resistance there. If we do make it above, 85 is definitely in play. And then below, did I already say 70? 70, yes. 65, and 60.
Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, right here. I got 60.88. So we're not, and again, folks, I have a limitation that Kane doesn't. I can't decipher gamma when there's no price action. So he can. So just letting you know, this is really good stuff. This program is really good. And I mean, so tomorrow when I talk about it, we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to talk about today's experience. And now this is very cool. So think about this for a second. I don't know. I asked Raleigh to collect a bunch of tickers from you. Okay. So the only way we could have conspired is that if we knew ahead of time, both Kane and I knew ahead of time, the tickers that Raleigh's going to be telling us live. And I promise you, neither of us know that. So I'm completely in the blind, and Kane is completely in the blind. and we're both doing it from two different ways.
And,
So you could
as
see the
Ed
difference.
McMahon used to say, these are, in a hermetically sealed jar on the porch of Funk and Wagnalls and have not been seen by anyone.
Exactly. So this is like I don't know what stocks you guys are picking. I have no idea. And I don't know what the next stock will be. So I'm just doing this blindly. Look at how accurately they're meeting my levels.
You bet.
Let's continue.
IBIT.
Oh, that's an interesting one. This is a good example of a stock that I would not day trade if you paid me $1 million, but I would swing trade the stock. So it's got a little bit of everything. This is a stock where it doesn't. Oh, of course, Mark. I came up with this idea to do it. Kane was going to leave like after his thing. I'm like, why don't you stay here and we'll just do it live? Because I want to show you how it all makes sense. It all combines. How we're all looking at the same thing. Maybe we're looking at it from a different lens, but we're seeing the same thing. So this is it's a Bitcoin ETF. This just follows Bitcoin. So remember, Bitcoin is pretty smooth. This is just following it, but in the best way it can. But it's very gappy. Okay, it's very, very gappy. When you have gaps here, this is probably the most gappiest stock right here or maybe BABA. Very gappy. IT, what was the ticker symbol here? Let me go back to
IBIT.
There we go, IBIT. So it doesn't look bad if you want to swing trade this with options. I would not be using underlying assets with stocks that have gaps. Because think about this. Let's say you're long and this thing gaps down. It's a big gap. It could be traumatic for you. And I don't want it to be traumatic for you. But assuming this is a swing trade, it took out the high right here. There's definitely a lot of support right around here. Here, I'll draw it right here. It's wicky. It's got a lot of overlap. It's very gappy. It looks like an asset that's following something that doesn't have its own value areas. But you'd be much better off, and I'm just telling you this as an advice, you'd be much better off looking at actual Bitcoin futures than doing this. If you wanted to trade this, I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I'll do it for you, but you would get a lot more value by getting the deltas from the actual futures contracts in this case. Right there. Okay, that's kind of what I've got here. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so a stock like this, it's you're getting a level at almost every strike, so it's cluttered up. What we notice is that to the downside, there's not nearly as much gamma. So below 63, there's one at 60, 64.
There's not much stuff here. It's all
And then right where we are, 65, 67, 68. The major gamma is at 70.
Boom.
And then there is a little bit above at 75 and 80 if we can get above 70.
I can't, and obviously, as I said, I don't have the ability to do that because there's no price, and I'm using price. He's using options. So again, I'm using price. He's using option buyers. We're looking at completely different things. But notice I didn't start marking up a lot of stuff over here. This is where all of it is right here. So we're both seeing exactly the same thing. And he mentioned there's not a lot below 63. He's right. There isn't. There isn't. Saying the same thing. Again, but my advice just for anybody, for you guys, if you want to trade this in the future, is to look at the actual futures Bitcoin contract. Next one.
The next one is analog devices, ADI.
Yeah, ADI. I like this stock, and I'll tell you why I like this stock. Because this is one of the few chip stocks that trades on the New York Stock Exchange versus the NASDAQ. And as a result of that, it has, or at least it used to, and as a result, it has tighter spreads. So when options and liquidity goes haywire, this is a very attractive chip stock to look at because New York markets are a lot more orderly for stocks, opposite for commodities, but for stocks, they're a lot more orderly. Just a little fact that won't really help you much for now, but this is looking good. I mean, it doesn't have a clear trend. right now. I wouldn't be doing anything to this. I can't see anything. I mean, this to me looks right now, it has just as much odds going up or down. As far as gamma, we have just everywhere here. We're full of it right here and right there and a lot right here at the high and a few steps over here. Basically where we're at right now. See how they get wider as we go down? Yeah, around there. That's how I see it. We're like, we got a wall of gamma where we're at right now. A wall of gamma.
Yep. Roger's spot on. The largest gamma is right at 250, so just above where we are right now. Above that, we do have some at 260, 270, and a little, I guess that's above, a little bit at 280. And then below,
Are they 2.5 strikes or 5?
These are,
Per dollar.
these are, there are 2.5 strikes, but there's nothing's trading at the 2.5s. Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, there's no volume at the 2.5s. Yeah,
I got it.
So
I got it.
we've got 230, 220. Those are below, and then also 210 below.
Even further down. Yeah. Yep. I got it at 211. Yep. So same thing. Very, very, very good. But I wouldn't be trading this right now, guys. This may be a good candidate for an iron condor, actually. I'll have to look at and earnings are not for a while because this looks like it can just stay here for a while. We are just in a miserable market today. I mean, look at this price action. Hey, look at this. This is garbage, folks. This is what you call garbage. Bull trap, bear trap, garbage. Garbage.
Liberty is asking if how do we know a gamma pocket is calls or puts? The software tells you. So normally I look at net calls and puts netted together, but you can also look at it at calls only and puts only.
Excellent.
And Zoom user, yes, this is live.
This is live, Zoom user.
All right.
All
Next
right.
stock, guys.
Yes.
Netflix, NFLX.
Netflix, very choppy stock, not a lot of directional bias. I actually already have levels on this stock that I've been drawing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I actually already have levels. There's a big one right there. Another one right there. Not a lot down here. Not a lot below here. Not a lot below here at all, actually. The next one is like down here. All right, what do you got?
Yeah, so it's harder to see just because it's such a high price stock and there is strikes every, looks like $2.50. So it's a little bit messy to look at, but we've got some at, oh gosh, let me just zoom in so I'm not looking at a million levels. 1180, 1160 are major ones near us. 1260 and 1280 are also major ones near us currently. 1300. What's this one right here? 1300, 1340 are major levels. And then let's see if I can get a really big one below. I think I already said 1180 and 1160. Yeah. So those are the ones that I can pick out visually, the largest ones.
And I mean, we're talking about a stock that's at $1,100 and almost at $1,200, and I'm being off by $2 and $3 here. That's pretty good. That's $1,100 stock, folks. That's pretty good. All right, just so you can't say I ignored you, SJ, I'll do T-Mobile. Okay, somebody from YouTube, T-Mobile. Oh boy, it's an ugly stock. I wouldn't touch the stock with anything right now. It doesn't really have it doesn't really have too many strong pockets around our area right now where we're at. I think right there. What do you got?
All right, above, I got 250, 260, 270. A little bit at 245 worth mentioning. And then I've got 235, and then the biggest one on the chart is 230.
Boom. Think we got like 4 or 5 out of these right. That's pretty remarkable. Raleigh, what's your opinion? I mean, this is not like something we pre-set up. This wasn't even something we planned. What do you think about the software versus me?
I tell you what, it's astounding how close this is. How close this is. And once again, as you said, Roger, you're applying all your experience and the chart time that you put in there, and you're able to spot these levels. And the fact that Kane is reinforcing this with the gamma levels that he says tells me that the market makers are also probably pretty attuned to the levels that you're drawing as well, Roger.
They are absolutely. If they know what they're doing, yes, absolutely. But again, you see, you don't have to have 31 years of experience if you have the software. The software can do a pretty good job of replicating my eyes.
Absolutely.
As we've seen at least 20 examples here.
Yeah.
Now, Kane, my suggestion is for you. We're gonna turn this off here, and I'll be joining you in give me about 5-10 minutes, Kane, to join you in the other room.
Sure.
We're not gonna have a webinar today, folks. Kane and I have a lot of work to do, but I wanted you to see, not to hear. I wanted you to see with your own eyes how crazy effective this program, how crazy effective it is in giving you levels. You already know how amazing levels are. Right? But not trying to sell you anything today. Didn't have any of these stocks ahead of time. Kane had no idea what we were talking about. I don't have a copy of the machine here. I'm just drawing levels. And I think most of you have enough respect for me to believe what I'm telling you is true. This was just something I decided to do completely on the spot. Kane, you should tell them to broadcast this video that we just did right now over the next 24 hours. I think it would be a very, very, very eye-opening and very valuable for a lot of people to see what we just went through before we launch the webinar tomorrow, okay? All right, folks, this was great. Here's the link. Here's the link. Here's the link. I wanted to show you how valuable this program is before you bought it, okay? That's the key. Not after you bought it, before you bought it, with like 20 or 30 examples. All right. All right. So I'll see you in about 10 minutes in the other room. Raleigh, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
And this was a fantastic and eye-opening session for many of you, I hope. All right. Folks, we will see you tomorrow. Ciao.
See you guys. Thanks.
See you later, Raleigh.
Take care, buddy. All right. So anyway, folks, listen, we're wrapping up here today. There's no webinar following this. We wanted to give a focus event here on education, and specifically to give you an opportunity to share with us that stocks that were important to you. Have Roger doing an analysis, and something I wasn't even aware of was that Kane would be here in the background also sharing how the software that he's going to be introducing this weekend has the ability to spot what the market makers have established as their gamma levels and how important those levels are. And it was incredible for me, at least, to see how those things unified with one another. Now, this was a great session, and a number of you are asking, hey, how can I see this again? Well, this is in the VIP room, and I'm just posting here. The VIP trade room replays can be seen on Roger's YouTube channel, and you see the channel right there. So once again, here shortly, when we conclude and sign off of YouTube, it usually is very, very quickly posted so that you have that information available to you. So once again, with that, folks, I want to thank you so much for coming today. It's been wonderful to see you all here. It's been a very, very eventful week. And for those of you that are going to continue to trade today, there's about, 3 hours left in the session. Please be careful. Roger mentioned that typically Fridays after very busy Thursdays, for example, tend to be pretty peaceful and relatively quiet, especially in the afternoon. But whatever you do, stick to your plan. But I hope the rest of your day goes well. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, a chance to be able to rest and relax with friends and family. And let's come back and get ready to hit the markets on Monday. And I look forward to seeing you at noon at the next edition of the VIP Trade Room. So with that, folks, thank you so much. Take care. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Bye-bye, folks.